Hello everybody, I'm Samura1man. I'll be speedrunning Metroid Prime Remastered.
Hi, I'm Ashra, and I'm going to be doing commentary for Samura1man because he invited me to do this like last minute.
Yeah.
But I'm honored to be here.
Yeah, so I had a commentator. He wanted to drop off because he wasn't prepared for this, so I let him go, and then I asked Ashvin, and she was excited to be part of this.
Yeah, absolutely.
So let's get started with the run. We'll be running on a casual mode because it's easier, faster. Normal mode will make it longer, and hard mode is like, we don't even talk about it, it's hard mode. So yeah, let's get started in 3, 2, 1, go.
Good luck.
Thank you. So as the name suggests, it's Metroid Prime Remastered. It's a remastered version of the classic, the legendary first 3D Metroid game, Metroid Prime. The loading screen takes a while, but we'll get started with the run, no worries. So the run starts in a Frigate of Orpheon. That is like what it says there. Samus gets like a signal of the of this spaceship.
Right.
She goes to explore it.
Yeah, so it's like a space pirate frigate. If you played Metroid Prime, not Metroid Prime, Metroid 1, you would know that she has a thing against the space pirates, and they've done a lot of like damage to her in her life. Big nemesis and rivals of hers. And a few space pirate frigates kind of escaped after Metroid Prime 1, and she thinks that this is one of the signals of the escaped pods, so she follows it out here in orbiting this planet called Talon 4. But a couple things about the speedrun, other than it being like a casual mode, as Samu said. He is also going to be playing it on Joy-Cons, and he's going to be using the pointer style to be able to control the game. So this is preferential to him. Runners will do different things. But yeah, currently we're on the frigate. He'll be like walking through it and kind of exploring this distress beacon. And as he's exploring, he'll realize that something is really weird here. There's been a lot of experimentation by the space pirates themselves on like different creatures, on themselves, and things have gone seriously wrong.
Yeah, lore-wise, it's interesting what's been happening here. This is like a side story of the main Metroid games, Metroid 1, 2, 3, 4, with Super Metroid is Metroid 3, Metroid Fusion is Metroid 4, so those are like completely separate from Metroid Prime story. Ashvin did mention about the control scheme. I'm using point roll control scheme for personal preferences. There are other control scheme, dual stick, hybrid, and a classic. Dual stick, like it says, you need to use the both joysticks for aiming and moving around, which I did try, but I didn't really like it with motion controls on and off.
I think it's super impressive that you're doing your Joy-Cons, because like just the maneuvering of like Samus and the aim and stuff is just all done by the flick of your wrists and how you move your hands.
Yeah, with the Joy-Cons, like in the Wii version, you can use the right Joy-Con.
Yeah, and that's nostalgic for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, another thing that we kind of want to point out is that he's playing a game after completing the main game, so this is like...
Yeah, so the scans are already done,
right.
So the game saves them.
Yeah, if you've played Metroid Prime Remastered, you would know that there's a lot of objects to scan, as he did there. And some of these will give you some lore, some of them will activate some switches, and if you had to read through all those dialogue and skip all those dialogue boxes, that would take a lot of time, so it's a lot faster for a speedrun.
Yeah, it will add like a minute or two, maybe 3 minutes, but depends. Here's the first boss fight. I pressed the wrong button. Well, that's fine, because the fight is very fast.
This is Parasite Queen. You encounter her on the frigate, and he's just going to basically rapid fire her until she dies in the mouth, right?
Yeah, the mouth has a weak point, and that's how we can beat the fight faster. And on a casual mode, it's way less missiles. On the original and the normal version, it will be like 12 or 13 missiles, then the fight is over. But we're on a casual mode, so the fight is faster. Now we have to escape the classic Metroid. Metroid situation. We have to escape with a timer on a screen.
I was actually really stressed out that it happened at the beginning of the game rather than the end of the game, to be like, oh crap.
Yeah, it's very common to be in the end of the game rather than in the start of the game.
Right. So the Parasite Queen falls into this reactor and like starts this chain reaction of like the frigate going boom. So 6 minutes I think is super generous for. I'm guessing that's casual mode, right?
It's actually for all of the. It's all for all of the modes.
Okay, I see. Yeah, so as you can tell, we passed by a lot of space pirates on the way out here, and a lot of them are like holding their guts because, like, I don't know, they're seriously like genetically wrong. A lot of weird experimentation happened to them.
I think they were just damaged here.
It could be as well from what's happening here, but I think you find a lot of them that are like kind of dead as you enter the frigate as well.
Yeah, you can scan all of them and find out what they've been going through. On the original version, it will take a while for that to open, so I would back off in original, but I mean, a remastered, load times are much faster.
Yeah, they're so smooth. The load times, it's incredible.
There are, well, we could talk about like the next part that's coming up, the classic section where you lose all of your equipments.
Yes.
You would wonder if that's possible to save them. Well, in original and Wii version, it is possible to go out of bounds here as well, though I don't know will it actually be possible to get to the end with all of the equipments. However, when you go to the Talon overworld, Talon War planet, the game will check out all of your equipments regardless, even if you save your equipments through the out of bounds.
So there's no way to keep them no matter what.
There is no way to keep them.
Yeah. Sam was talking about some interesting things here because obviously there has been speedruns of the GameCube and the Wii version, and they have been different, each in their own right, including this remastered. What I asked him about this, since I'm not a Metroid Prime remastered runner, is like how they basically found all the tech for this game, and it's basically just trying everything they had in the originals and seeing if it existed. Yeah, in this one. So I think it's really cool, like the way they kind of tested whether the tech works in this and just found new things along the way as well.
Yeah, some new things were found by the community members who are like glitch hunters, strat finders, and so forth, then trying out some new things that may not work in a Wii version.
Saddest messages on screen, all the malfunctions. Lost everything.
Yeah, all she has is just the power beam and a
her power suit.
And a sky visor,
yeah.
Nothing else.
No, yeah.
That is a nice escape time. In an earlier cutscene, you noticed that I skipped that. That's where Meta Ridley is actually. Ridley is the arch nemesis for Samus. And in this game, it's called Meta Ridley, not just the Ridley.
Yes, that's something that we didn't get to talk about. But yeah, Ridley is one of her long-term nemesis. I think it killed her parents.
Yes.
So she has like serious beef with Ridley. But we killed Ridley in the first game. But it turns out the space pirates found the body of Ridley and brought it back to life through experimentation. Yeah. So it's not just any Ridley, it's a genetically enhanced, powered, machine, essentially, at this point. Yeah, it has a lot of modifications.
Yeah, like the name says, Meta Ridley. So it's like an experiment of the original Metroid, Ridley.
Yeah.
But yeah, could be a different Ridley, but that's for people to argue.
Yeah, so Samus finds herself on this planet called Talon 4, and this used to be occupied by this like ancient species of bird people in the universe called the Chozo. And it turns out that there's more to this planet than just the space pirates, but it seems that like these ancient race of people are no longer around, but they have like foresaw that someone will come to this planet to help it from a problem that it's experiencing called the Great Poison. This Great Poison apparently killed everything on the planet and the Chozo themselves, and the only way that they can like save it is to try and like contain it, and then hope that a savior would come along and fix everything that happened. And they prophesized it, and it turns out to be Samus. So Samus is here to now do one thing, which is the objective of the speedrun: collect 12 artifacts and stop the Great Poison from spreading.
Yeah, we'll be finding out what is that later. You do notice that if you've watched the original Metroid Prime speedruns and Wii versions too, that why I'm not getting the space jump boots that is right behind the ship at the start of the Talon Overworld. Well, turns out it's possible in a remaster, but it's very hard. I never got to learn it, and it would save like a couple minutes. That's why I'm not doing it, but I'll be getting it later, no worries. Here's basically the first mini-boss fight, which is also possible to skip, but I didn't get to learn it, and when I tried to learn it, it was too hard.
Yeah, this is the Hive Mecha, and he's basically going to be shooting all the, like, I guess they're wasps, right?
Yeah, these are like wasps, only seen here.
Yep. So it's a lot of just rapid fire on all the wasps that come out. Like we obviously don't have any of our like abilities at this point, so it's just a lot of rapid fire, and then just kind of beating the boss.
That's been a good luck there. I try to shoot this first, so I get like 1 or 2 of them shot. Then I try to follow up the next one that is on the left side. Then I look at the radar for the rest and hope that I hit the shots. That was actually a very good fight.
Very well done.
So the ways to skip this fight would be jumping off from like a small rock that is underwater, or doing like a specific kind of a combat dash that is basically for the Wii version and a remastered version. On a GameCube version, if you are on the original, you can just do a simple scan dash, and that's very easy, very fast. Speaking of scan dashing, that is not in a game. It was already removed in a PAL version of the original Metroid Prime in 2002 or 3. And in a player's choice, it's also gone. So scan dashing is only in the original version, as well as to be specific in a 0-01, it does work in that.
Yeah, I think we'll be talking about like all the differences between the original Wii version and remastered version on the Switch throughout the course of this run, because there are quite a few differences.
Yes, there are quite a lot of them. The dash that I mentioned will be doing it off from an enemy. And like I said, it has to be a specific kind of a dash, because when you dash off to this side and release the target off from an enemy, you would lose all your momentum in a remastered, and I think in a Wii version too. I'm not too familiar of it because I never run that, but the way I can't explain it without showing it. So, but it has to be a specific kind of a dash that is just not easy, I would say.
You're about to do a skip here, right? To see if you can like avoid fighting the enemies and the beetles in this room.
Let's see if I didn't get on that.
So there's on the branch.
So on the branch, I would have been able to skip this mini boss fight, saving like half a minute or so.
Yeah, so these are beetles, and with the missile launcher that he got, he's basically going to be shooting a bunch of them at the same time and trying to get the splash damage of the missiles to kill multiple enemies at once.
So I didn't get lucky there.
Ran out of missiles, yeah.
With the missile drops, I have to shoot the rest normally. On the normal mode, it will be 2 missiles, but now it's just a missile and a couple shots after that, and that's how the mini-boss dies. I don't even remember the mini-boss's name, but very easy, very simple. And that's when we get the Morph Ball.
Morph Ball!
The signature move, so the signature equipment for Samus. But we don't have Morph Ball bombs yet.
Yeah, there's a lot of kind of upgrades that we'll be needing to get throughout this run that are going to make it possible to do things that we do. And then like the late game is mostly just picking up the artifacts that we talked about to be able to clean up the game and enter the last kind of room that we need to enter. But there's a lot of cool skips and sequence breaks that Samu's going to do that are quite difficult in the remastered version, basically because of how Out of Bound works in this game versus the original and Wii version.
That's different. You'll be seeing how different it is, and we'll mention why is it harder in a remastered. People can argue original would be harder, but then again, remastered is just completely different compared to the original. You noticed earlier in a Morph Ball room how I unmorphed against the wall. That it's like a instantly unmorph.
Yes.
So normally in this game, when you unmorph and morph, Samus goes from a first person to third person and vice versa. So I can instantly snap from a third person to first person by going against the wall in a certain way that the camera can't follow Samus behind her. So it instantly snaps from a third person to first person instead.
Yeah.
I will be picking up some missiles along the way because it's an 8-person speedrun. I need some missiles to make the run faster.
So what he was talking about, the instant unmorph, is very crucial to a lot of the skips that he's going to be doing. It's like the bread and butter moves of this speedrun route. And an interesting thing about this is that the instant unmorphs are a little harder in this one because you can get something called a partial unmorph, which if you get that, doesn't allow you to complete the trick the way you want to. So
it's in all of the games, but yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But you'll see it when we come across this tech called a space jump, bomb space jump, and
Bomb space jump.
spring ball jump as well. That instant unmorphs are very important. But anything that like basically obscures the camera makes you be able to transition from that third perspective to the first mode perspective very quickly. The sad thing is that it is kind of like a frame perfect trick. The instant unmorphs.
So bored, yeah.
Yep.
So I just grabbed the charge beam. Not necessary to beat the game. Actually, it is necessary to beat the game. Beat the game, my bad. You need a super missile and charge beam later.
Yep. Also helpful for our next fight as well.
I'm a little low on health, so I need to be careful. Don't wanna die here.
Yes.
Unlike in a Metroid Dread, there is a checkpoint. For the original Metroid Prime and Metroid Prime 2, there is no checkpoint. When you die in a game, you'll just restart from the last save, which in this case would be at the start of the game for me. I'll be doing backup saves for a few locations. Right now we're on the way to get bombs, because we'll be needing it.
Your movement is so smooth.
Yeah, that was good there, because what I was doing there, I released the joystick, so Samus will move forward the whole time. And that's how I will get to the morph ball hole right away.
Right.
I'm actually standing on an invisible wall on the Incinerator throne, I think it was called.
Yes, this is another boss fight. And if you play it casually, you'll know you'll have to run around the flames that's spinning around. But the fact that you could just stand on this invisible wall is so cool. And then just charge up your beam the entire time to be able to shoot out the eye or the weak spot of this like boss. And then there's also wasps in the room, so that's convenient. You gotta take those out as well.
Let's see, do I get lucky? This boss has known to have like an RNG. Zoid made one of the developers of the game made this boss fight, and he mentioned about adding the RNG element for the boss fight. There's also another part what he worked on that also has RNG. RNG stands for just random number generator, aka shortly said luck. It's luck based.
It's speedrunner's worst enemy.
Well, this is not a good luck now because the weak point is not showing, but there we go. I don't remember exactly the amount of time that it takes for showing the weak point, but the weak point for the first hit shows faster than the others. Then for the second, third, and fourth weak point, it shows up later compared to the first one. I can usually hear it from the music that how well the fight was. If the music loops, it was okay. If it doesn't loop, it was a really good fight. That's more ball bombs.
Yay.
And the good thing about standing on that invisible wall nearby the throne is to drop off the bombs right away.
Now we can do bomb space jumps. Well, we have to get the space jump boots first.
Yeah, we need to get that first.
Yeah. Almost there.
Yeah. Normally at this point of the game, we would go fight Flagra for Varia's suit. However, like Ashwin was mentioning, we need to get the space jump boots. That's what we're gonna go get next. This is a small puzzle. Just gonna go from the location to next location to raise up these elevators or platforms to open a door that is for the other part of the Chozo ruins. Chozo.
Okay. Is it easy to get used to the pointer controls?
Well, for me it was.
Okay. Is it what seems to be the preference among the speedrun community to use?
I think dual stick might be the preference for many people. Some people like maybe hybrid.
Yeah, I think casually I was a fan of the fact that there were multiple control schemes that you can choose from. So like you could kind of play it like the original was, or you can just play it in the more modern way, which kind of made it a bit more accessible for those that didn't like the pointer stuff. Yeah,
pointer is not the default. I'm not sure if it was default dual stick, but there are four control schemes to choose from. It's your personal preference after all. Even though I do like the original Metroid Prime a lot, I still like using the pointer control scheme, even though I never played Metroid Prime on the Wii version.
Yeah, that's a spring ball movement right there, just flicking up the Joy-Cons,
Yeah,
which is important, right? Because you need to be able to do spring ball jumps, and without having motion controls, you just can't do them.
So there's a little bit of a misunderstanding for the spring ball. Spring ball only works when you have the morph ball bombs.
Okay.
So when you get the morph ball,
you can do this.
You don't have it yet.
Yeah.
So with the morph ball bombs, you can do that. However, you would wonder why I'm not using the X button to jump. Well, if you play with the dual stick control scheme, that's when you can press the X button to jump. And that is the only control scheme that has the button to jump with the spring ball.
Okay.
On the other, all of the other ones, except classic, I guess, doesn't have it. So you have to use a motion controls, which is the gyro, like in a Wii version. You can change the sensitivity for this or just take it off completely too. And if you take it off completely, you don't have a spring ball unless you're on a dual stick.
So we're making our way back to the ship where we like basically landed on the planet now to get the space jump.
Yeah, this little rocker right here is our savior to get this to work.
Right, so this is the bomb space jump. And then he's going to carefully try and walk along this ledge because there's something called a push trigger. It's like basically a collision that's trying to force him out of this wall, so he's not here at all. But he's carefully and slowly moving to the right to be able to climb onto the ledge like that, up the platform, and then be able to skip the sequence here to get the space jumper. It's nicely done.
Was first try.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna say, it's not that as easy as it looks. That ledge to land on is so thin. I don't why I get it first try.
I want to see you get things first try. I think it's so impressive. But yeah, like he's making it look really easy. It's a lot harder than this.
Yeah, so there's so many things we didn't even mention. The rock, it's hard to balance on it. The ledge, it's hard to stand on it because it's so thin. And there's a push trigger that pushes you off. I couldn't just jump through that because the push trigger will push me off. The developers just put it there, hoping that we'll never get through that.
Yeah,
But we still got through
yeah,
that.
the devs basically knew like what speedrunners and people were using to exploit areas to get to different stuff, so they created a lot of push triggers and invisible walls to make sure you couldn't get there anymore.
At least they tried.
They tried. They tried to stop the speedrunner. They didn't succeed.
You can still get it earlier than this, but it's harder than, like I mentioned, about the dashing method. Well, space jump boots is supposed to be gotten after you go to Ventrana Drifts, where you get the boost ball, but we got it much earlier. At this point, I would go to Blakra. However, I won't do that yet. What I'm gonna go for is the famous early ice beam, or IPBF, also known as ice beam before Blakra. It is a speedrun trick that will require me to go out of bounds. And at this point, I would say, when I go out of bounds in a game, it does work, like it would in an original. However, imagine a box in Metroid Prime games. That box does not exist in a remastered version. They took it off.
Yeah.
What I mean by that, if I fall out of bounds in a remastered version, I'll eventually die. That's why I'm gonna make it backup safe, and I'll be attempting this couple times. If it doesn't work, if I don't get it, I'll be using a backup file to continue the run. So we're not going to be stuck here for 15 to 20 minutes or so.
Okay. This is the room where he's going to attempt the early ice beam pickup. He's going to be jumping across these platforms onto this tree right here and into this corner. And he's going to perform something called... Ooh, fell. That happens. It's very hard to navigate.
So next one was going to be a slope jump.
Yes,
to go out of bounds.
Exactly. He's going to use something called a slope jump to be able to try and get a higher jump along the wall and be able to hit this like ledge to go out of bounds, which this is a little rough. He'll be able to get that.
It's not the hardest part of the run though, but
this is a very, very long out of bounds skip. So there's a lot of like components to it to be able to navigate. This one being in particular a hard one because you need to be standing in the right position.
I thought I got out of bounds there, so I started to
yeah,
move it
I thought so as well. It looked like you almost made it. Slope jumps being a very crucial mechanic to the speedrun. Okay, great. We're out of bounds.
Now I just have to land there. So yeah, if I fall out of bounds, I'm dead.
Yes, so
gotta be careful.
Right, the risks of going out of bounds in the remastered is either falling in bounds or dying. In the older games, there's something called a box with Aether that you can actually stand on. In this, you don't have that. So there's certain spots of these rooms on top of them that you can successfully stand on and move across. But what Samu is trying to do here is trying to go to door frames. The door frames basically activated different rooms, but he has to basically go on the side of a door frame to reveal the next room. He needs to use his mini-map to see whether he's in the next room or the previous room, and then he needs to land on the outside of the door frame, jump, and then be able to load in the next area. So he's like transitioning between rooms, and he's just using this whole out-of-bounds sequence to be able to go through different areas in the game to reach that early ice beam. This one is a hard jump here that he needs to perform along this like pillar. There you go, got it. But basically all he's doing is finding all these safe spots that he can stand on while being out of bounds. And this is a very, very hard trick to maneuver, so he's just hoping that he doesn't die or fall back in bounds. But it's essentially all it is just like room transitions and making sure that you're going to the right areas. We're almost getting there. This should... You're doing well.
I'm getting scared.
Yeah. It is very scary. Like, there's very specific areas that you can land, and there's not much room around it. This is the Hall of the Elders. He can accidentally, like, activate a ghost in here and, like, basically lock out the room, which is something that he needs to mind as he's moving out of bounds here. But he's basically trying to reach a door a little bit past this area to be able to clip back in, effectively performing the IBBF, yes, which he made it. Fantastic. Ooh, nicely done. But if I know correctly, like if you activate that ghost and that room closes off, you have to go back and fight it, right?
You can just get to the next room, I think. But you have to fight it, then you have to do a backup strat. But I wouldn't be screwed over if I activate the fight by accident. So that's early ice beam, or IBBF, whatever you want to call it.
One of the harder sequence breaks done.
Yes. There's more though.
Yeah, there's more, but this one's a pretty big one. I think it's a very, very long sequence as well. There's a lot out of bounds there.
Yeah, that is the longest out of bounds section done. So I'm really happy. I'm really happy I got to showcase that without any issues. Here's the Chozo Ghost. I can activate the White Master by shooting its spot where it spawns. Then I just need to hope that it spawns right away. Or not. I can stun lock it in a way. Let's see, can I do that? No, I shot off from it. But it's a fast fighter, it's just a three fully charged shots.
So you know how we said the Chozo are kind of dead and long gone at this point? We find out there's ghosts, and there's a reason why, which we'll talk about later.
Ice Beam is supposed to be like a mid-game item equipment, but you can get it as early as this. I'm gonna go here and grab this E-Tank. E-Tanks are not like necessary to beat the game. However, if you die and you don't save, you start over from the very beginning. So E-Tanks are for safety reasons, missiles as well, and just to make fights faster and so forth.
I think also the E-Tanks are super necessary for you when you're gonna do another like sequence break in Magmor Caverns, just to have a little bit more health too.
It's not exactly necessary, but I get more attempts.
Yeah, more attempts, right.
I get more attempts for
rather than just resetting.
Yes. Right here above me, if you know the Metroid Prime games, you can hear this sound effect. There's a missile expansion, and I'm gonna grab it.
You're talking about the sounds that you can hear, that there are like some things that you can pick up in the room?
Yeah.
Weird like hums and stuff?
Normally on that spot that I just shot, there would be those plants. But since I kinda changed the game's layout, since I changed the game's behavior because of grabbing the ice beam, so Chozo Ghost spawns here. However, on that spot that I shot, there are plants that are invisible. I shot there a little bit, so I can scan that object that will open me a door. That door is possible to skip in the original version. I think in the PAL version too. Pretty sure in the Wii version they fixed that, and I just added an invisible wall. You see how I go around the corner? That's what I tried to get like an instant unmorph. So what I explained earlier, the camera moves from the third person to first person instantly.
Anything that skips any animation is good.
Yeah. This is Flagra.
So Flagra is another boss fight that Samu is going to be using the space jump for. He's going to be jumping over this like poison pit, as you can see, this like green stuff between Flagra and him. And there are these like bomb triggers here that if you like actually touch them or lay a bomb, they do damage to Flagra. So what he's going to be doing is jumping over these poison pools, laying bombs, and effectively damaging Flagra. Now, if you know what this fight looks like, you know that there's like a bunch of mirrors that you need to manipulate to kind of like weaken Flagra and do damage to it. But we don't need to do that in the speedrun.
So Ashwin, why did I go to the Morph Ball Hall for the first attempt? Do you know?
Is it that just so you can like trigger? I don't know actually. Why didn't you jump over it instead of just go right through it?
Because the Morph Ball blocks are not; those are not there.
Oh, okay. I see.
So I activate them by falling off the block wrap by taking off the mirror.
Right. Okay. So then the next parts of these fights, there are blocks for that with a vine, right? So
Yeah,
that's why you space jump.
Now they're active, so I can go to the other side, these sides, and actually damage Flagra. Which side it was? This side.
So that's the space jump over here. Lay some morph ball bombs.
Flagra's hitbox is pretty huge, so I can it can push me off. The hitbox for those morph ball slots extends really hard outside of that. That's how I can damage Flagra.
But doesn't morph ball like bombs have a wide hitbox anyways? Like, do they do a lot of damage over an area?
It could be that too, actually. Now, when you say that.
It'd be really cool to be able to see that if there's like a way to study like the rings of damage of these like attacks.
I know for many other games with the practice mods, they have add the hitbox blocks and such, so you won't be able to maybe see that. Probably gonna suggest that to one of the practice mod developers.
Yeah.
Is that possible to add?
Are there any tools for this game yet? Because I mean, it just came out this year.
Metro Original has. I don't know about the Wii version, but Remastered does have. And in fact, I gotta tell a funny story. Just like a couple hours later after the release, they already had a practice mod.
Really? Couple hours?
Yeah.
Wow. Is the Metroid Prime community very active?
They are active when new stuff like this is found, and especially when like good runs are going on. Other than that, compared to like other games like Mario, Zelda, and bigger games too, it's not as active as you would imagine, even though people love Metroid Prime games,
games are good.
and Metroid games in general.
Yes. Get the Varia suit.
And we get the Varia suit back.
Yes.
We can get through all the heat rooms now.
Can I just say how pretty Samus's model in this game is?
It is very pretty.
Everything about this game is very pretty.
In the original and Wii version, it would be possible to get through Makmur caverns without the Varia suit. For Remastered, it's also possible, but you need 4 E-tags for that.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah. Normally, without glitches and out of bounds, you can get 3 of them. And one that you can get as a 4th one is in a Hall of Elders. That is not that easy to get to. One of the runners, I think it was Dragonif, I'm sorry if I say the wrong name, but one of the community members was able to go all the way to Vason Mines with just a power suit. It was fun
to the Phazon in this game?
Yeah, in a Vason Mines.
And he survived?
Survived all the way there, but beating a game, I'm not too sure about that.
Yeah, because that's what I heard, that the Phazon Mines in this game are a lot harder to actually survive through versus the older games.
I'm not too sure, have they made anything significant differences for like the enemy damage and so
I thought maybe it's just the Phazon itself that does
It's
damage.
Phazon itself that is
Yes.
pretty difficult to go through. If you're in a hard mode and you get to Phazon Mines, good luck. It's not an easy place to get through.
This is Magmar Caverns. It also has my favorite music in the game.
Yeah, it's the remix version of the Super Metroid's Lower Mines.
Artifact!
That's one of the artifacts we need
This
to
is
collect.
number 1?
Yes.
Number 1 of 12.
If you watch the original version of the game, you would imagine I would have gone back to the Flagra's room. Well, I can explain why I'm not going there. Let's see, do I explain this right? But so, in this game, if you are mid-air and you bomb jump, that's the only bomb jump you can do. I cannot do more than 1 bomb jump in a Remastered or in Corruption and Wii versions. So what I mean that Retro added a cap for bomb jumps. In Metroid Prime 1 and 2 or original versions, there is no limit for that. You can do infinite bomb jumps if you have
You can only do one here, right?
Yeah, in a remastered version, you can do only one bomb jump.
Yeah.
That is why I cannot get the artifact of wild right now. You would be using the one of the walls and be stuck on it, then do infinite bomb jumps in original.
That's cool.
I'm pretty sure the Wii version didn't have it, but I might be wrong. I never run the Wii version. You might be wondering, why am I going in this room? Well, glad you ask, and wonder too. I'm gonna be using this enemy called Triclops.
This is the early power bomb expansion pickup,
Yes.
right? Okay, so this is kind of an interesting skip. He's going to go out of bounds here as well, but to set this up, this enemy called the Triclops has to grab him once, and he's going to basically shake his like analog stick to be able to get out. And once he gets out, instead of being thrown into lava, he's going to line up using some visual cues along this wall to get the Triclops to grab him right here and instantly drop him. Ooh, that's weird. Are you stuck?
Yeah.
Is this a soft lock?
Yeah, so that's a soft lock.
Oh no, I wasn't expecting to see a soft lock. So yeah, this skip is quite hard because you know, you either go out of bounds, which can be a little bit hard because you can't manipulate the RNG of the Triclops and it pushing you out of bounds, or you get a soft lock like that.
So what was gonna happen is I go out of bounds, grab the power bomb expansion. However, we didn't even get to the part to explain that there's a soft lock potential. If the Triclops grabs me in a specific way when I'm stuck in a wall, and if I try to move out of bounds by holding up, I will get soft locked. But I usually try to not hold anything, and I still got soft locked. I knew that can happen, but I didn't get to explain it in time. So I will get out of bounds, grab the power bomb expansion, then I will go to Ventrana Drifts to grab Wave Beam and Boost Ball, then continue through the Ventrana. So I'll be using a backup file. That's what I was prepared for if that were to happen. Unfortunately, I don't get to show Triclops clip more than that. It works in all of the versions. Remastered is special because we can clip back in bounds to get the power bomb expansion. In the original and a Wii version, I wouldn't be able to get the power bomb expansion because you cannot clip back in bounds. If you're TAS, inhuman person, like Cyborg, then you can get the power bomb expansion. You
can just watch his PBs for it. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. Unfortunate how that happened, but no can do. Marathon luck, I guess. And we're gonna continue the run from Ventrana Drifts after we've got the power bomb expansion that I never collected. But I did collect in this file, just saying. Right now we're on our way to get the Wave Beam.
Yeah, so this world has like different areas overall. So if you play any Metroid game, you know that there's like different areas that you need to transition to. There's a lot of backtracking, but the way that Samu has routed this is trying to make the most efficient like pickups in all the areas, so he doesn't have to do a lot of backtracking. Like I know that that's going to be important for you later in the Phase-On Mines.
Yeah, there are 2 or 3 routes for this game. I'm using one of them. One of the other routes will be not doing one of the tricks I'm gonna do in this run, but I wanna do it and to showcase a neat trick.
I like that. I respect that you want to showcase a cool trick. I think the tricks in this game are really awesome.
And it's the route I just know as well. Right now we're gonna go by the baby she-god and a big she-god, just named as a she-god. They're really easy, just gotta use a couple missiles or a fully charged power beam.
Charge beams, yeah, power beams.
And they're down as well.
They're pretty easy to kill, and then the Mama Sheegoth comes out to play. But this fight is relatively straightforward. Yeah. They obviously have weak spots on their back, which is why Samu is circling around to them to damage their like shell and be able to damage them.
Okay, baby she-god will be a little tough fight if I didn't have a power bomb. With a power bomb, it's just a one-shot.
It's so cool. Casual mode just makes this like so nice.
Yeah, and actually the power bomb just one-shot.
Yeah. Wave beam.
That's our third beam upgrade. First was obviously ice beam. Not unintended order, or you can say that. Next up is gonna be boost ball. Then we're gonna go to Ventrana Drifts for other equipments. If there's any time for donations, now is a good time.
Brilliant. I just wanted to point out that we have just passed the $68,000 mark raised for Alzheimer Fonden, which is absolutely fantastic. Alzheimerfonden is the national Swedish fundraising organisation focusing on Alzheimer's disease and other dementia-related diseases, and all of your donations go directly towards helping to research the cure for Alzheimer's disease. And if you wanted to, it's your last day to be able to get one of our exclusives, ESA Summer 2023 charity t-shirts. Just type !merch in the chat or go to speedrun.store.
So tell me something, is it the fastest way to get around the world is just morph ball and spring balls between the areas?
Pretty much in long spaces like that room. And if it's a closer distance, then it would be better to just maybe use a morph ball.
Okay.
Without push ball.
Right, because you're not boost ball yet.
It depends on the room's layout.
Okay. Because I like, even when playing casually, like just finding the fastest way to move across areas.
Yeah.
It's just so satisfying. But boost ball.
Yeah,
Speaking of that.
Now we go fast.
Now we go fast.
In some of the areas, not all in all of the areas.
Yeah, I like I said, your movement is so smooth. It's so nice to see you transition between rooms, like without fail. Like you're just weaving in and out of them. It's incredible.
At the time when this game came out, I was one of the runners who was implementing the new strats that were bound, like early Ice Beam. That dumb trick, I'm gonna call it a dumb trick because it works or doesn't work, and I got soft locked. So
oh no!
Can't really do much about it.
What's your favorite trick in this game?
That's a good question. I need to think about it. Oh,
okay.
I can't say it, but
okay.
It remind me later when.
Okay, sure, I will.
Like 20 minutes.
Okay.
Remind me because that's when I will explain it. Don't want to spoil it for the people who haven't seen the speedrun.
How hard is it to be able to jump on the edges here?
Not really hard.
Okay.
If it's in a Metroid Prime series games, generally is that if it looks standable, you can most likely stand on it. Yeah.
Okay.
Then in a 3, you most likely cannot stand on it. But the Prime 1 and 2 is kind of a funny games that you can actually stand on, like literally anything that is that looks like a standable object.
So bringing back the lore here, we start encountering space pirates on Talon 4. These space pirates are actually modified as well with a lot of equipment and abilities that we might have not seen space pirates capable of before. There's very many variants of them, but we find ourselves in this part of the game in like different kinds of labs as we're entering through here. Turns out space pirates came to Talon 4 because they followed an energy signature or radiation that seemed to be very powerful. Now the space pirates are trying to take over the universe and trying to find any technology that will help them do so, and this was a perfect planet for them to experiment using something called the Phazon. Space pirates are not being very nice to you, are they?
Space pirates.
Yeah, space pirates. So they're out here doing a bunch of experimentation. They have a bunch of research facilities and a lot of projects that they're working on, one called Project Helix and something else. And everything that you fight here has been kind of genetically altered and part of that experimentation that they've been doing. Some nastier than others. There's also some like really awful implications of it, but this is a puzzle room.
This puzzle room can be skipped, but the way it's skipped is pretty difficult. I've done it on practice mode with save states or position saves. Not in real time without save states. I'm not gonna do it. It's kind of tough. Oh yeah, I have a space jump. I need to jump up there. This puzzle room can be skipped with the bomb space jump, and it's not the hardest trick in the game. But the next jump after that is kind of tough because how tight the jump is. You don't have that much room for an error. Though after those, you still have one more jump to get to the super missile. The super missile is high up in a room, and it goes down after the puzzle is completed. But after you get the super missile, it's all done. All the hard tricks for this room to skip the puzzle is done.
Yeah, Samu was telling me since this game is fairly new, there's a lot of things he hasn't learned. There are like potential skips and time savers in this game, but you pick up those when you feel comfortable to pick them up and incorporate them into a run.
And honestly, at that point when I wanted to try to implement new strats, I started to lose a little bit motivation to run this game. I wanted to try. I usually like to stick with the game for like a month or two, depending. Do I enter the run? Then I want to switch to a game. I don't wanna. My thing is that I don't want to burn out from playing the game for too much, especially the same category. And the run being hard with the Triclops clip and IPPF early Ice Beam.
Yeah, those are reset points and they can be demotivating.
Yeah, sometimes I may not get a run going, then it's like, am I wasting time or not? It's gonna depends on the mood. For now, I haven't got my eyes on an interest to learn any new tech for this game.
Okay.
Yeah,
Super missiles were acquired. We're gonna be doing more damage now, which is great.
Super missiles are required for the remastered version because we need to go back to get the artifact of Wild, that is a Flakra's room later.
Mm-hmm. That requires super missiles.
Yeah.
Ooh, don't forget to pick up the Powerball here.
I already have it.
Okay, you already do.
Yeah, I grabbed it in one room that a Powerbomb did drop from a Space Pirate, and I got really lucky with that. If I didn't get it, Ashwin did remind me to get it in this room, because in this room, it's not like super guaranteed to drop it, but this has the most likelihood to drop one from one of these boxes.
Yeah. So drops in this game are a little different than the previous games. They're actually predetermined locations where you can find certain drops, unlike where it's variable chance that it can drop. So Samu has to route out like pickups in his speedrun just so he can make sure he gets the materials he needs to be able to do things later on. Those were the flying space pirate variants that were experimented on. He's actually going to do something here that you can't technically do at this point in the game because you're waiting for the plasma beam, I believe, to be able to shoot out that target there.
Normally you need a plasma beam to open a window so you can fire a missile on that weak point. But in a remastered version, in original version and Wii version 2, you can jump over that wall that you saw me hack against, orange thing, and fire a missile over that to the weak point and get this artifact of Elder. I think it was...
Second artifact.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we can get this artifact early.
2 out of 12.
One of the problems this game might have had for some people is the amount of backtracking and the artifact locations sometimes, because you have to backtrack so far in order to beat the game. Without collecting the artifacts, you cannot beat the game. Yeah,
because that last room is pretty much locked. You can't proceed without collecting the artifacts.
Here is a Talon Metroid. Just it's not a regular Metroid, it's a specific for Metroid Prime's Metroids.
Yeah, so Talon Metroids are a little bit scarier if you know anything about Metroids. These ones actually draw energy from you and they grow larger in size, which makes them a little bit scarier than regular Metroids.
Yeah. This is Thermal Visor that we're gonna grab. It's actually not necessary for beating the game. It makes the final fight and the next upcoming fight just a little bit easier. And especially the final fight, just honestly much better. And we're going through this part of the game, part of the Ventrana Drifts too, so better to grab it instead of not grabbing it.
Music is so good. All the sound cues are so good in this game.
Yeah, this game is fantastic.
Yes.
Can't praise it too much. I love this game.
Yeah, if you haven't played it, you really should.
You really should. It's on Switch. If I didn't have an Ice Beam, I wouldn't be able to get through to Ventrana's edge. Right now, we're gonna go to one of the boss fights of this area and the game. It's called Tardus. It's also, I'm not 100% sure about the lore, but it is an experiment as well, like you said.
Yeah, there's a lot of creatures that they found on this planet that they decided to mess around with. But not also that, some of it was actually unintended. Like basically, what we'll find out later is like something that's influencing organisms to be able to mutate like this just started leaking out and affecting the environment. So this planet used to be green, lush, and beautiful, and now everything is getting damaged. So this is Tardus. He uses a thermal visor there for a second to be able to reveal a weak spot on the enemy, but Samu knows where these weak spots are. So basically he's going to be trying to expose them and shooting them repeatedly to do damage to them. So as the enemy Tardus was rolling there, Samu got into Morph Ball, laid out some bombs to exploit and expose this weak spot that he's shooting at right now. So normally, you know, people would fight this a little bit differently, but Samu knows exactly where to target and locate it. So he's going to roll again. Samu will lay out some Powerball bombs, which do a lot of damage. They have a really good AoE effect area, big hitbox.
Regular bombs.
Yeah,
regular bombs. I want to save the power bomb for later. It's important to...
Regular bombs, exactly. Sorry, my bad. Morph ball bombs. The power ball he's holding on to for something else a little later. This obviously a power ball would make this fight faster if you could use it.
It would be able to like break like 2-3 of the weak points at the same time.
At the same time, yeah.
So if I had more than one power bomb, I would be using one of them to see if I can make this fight much faster.
But this is a really, really cool fight.
Yeah. Hard to see here without the thermal visor, but I'm not gonna use a thermal visor. Bombs are making this fight very, very fast. The weak point is showing there. I tried to shoot this with a fully charged power beam shot. I could mention that power beam is stronger than wave beam because wave beam does stun enemies instead of power bomb. It's just more damage.
So if you were to choose one of the parts of beams that you had, you would use charge beam because it does more damage overall.
Yeah, charge beam does just way more damage, and fully charged instead of partially charged is more DPS as well.
Okay.
So it's important to get them fully charged.
Yeah.
It can be really significant for Metroid Prime fight especially. Oh. The weak point, how Dardus moves is based on which side I try to dodge it on. So I've memorized the order, so I can try to get some hits in before it starts standing up. Now it's time for the final base. It's pissed off. This is what the motion blur. This is what the thermal visor does for this game. It adds the motion blur. It feels like it's 30 FPS, but it's actually 60 FPS. The motion blur just makes it.
It's so disorienting.
Yeah.
It's not comfortable to play with it on.
Yeah. Original is just way better. That's what it feels like. It's just better.
Yeah, they've made it a little bit too flashy in this version, it seems. So killing this boss is important because we actually get a very important piece of our equipment.
This is one of the recurrent items to beat the game, especially in original, especially in a remastered. Original, you can just skip this boss fight. There will be a next upcoming hard trick soonish after this. So if there's any time for donation, now is a good time.
Thank you so much. We have had a $250 donation come in from, I think it's someone who's sitting in the room. His name is Viper, sat there in the third row. He says, thanks for making this ESA a very enjoyable one. Glad to see that the Metroid series still gets the love it deserves, and go Samura.
Thank you.
Now we have a spider ball, which allows us to kind of like climb on these like metallic magnetic tracks, which is really, really cool.
Noticeable are the orange and black color scheme that you see in a room. You know it's a spider track. Next up is gonna be a saving, actually, a safety save, because I actually don't have a save after after this trick.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this is not an out of bounds trick, but it's something else that is important that I get it. It's not the hardest trick, at least, but it's my favorite. In case I can explain it when we get to that room.
Yeah.
There's a save right behind
I will also try
here.
and help you explain it.
Yeah. Here goes my backup file, but it's okay.
We're gonna not need to access that specific backup file anymore.
Yeah, for now, at least. We're in the Makmur. From here, we'll be going to one of the rooms that for those people who've played the game, you know what it is. Those who don't know, it's a Plasma Beam. Plasma Beam is right here in Makmur Caverns. We'll be needing it. It's required for beating the game. It's the strongest beam in the game. The room requires me to have grapple beam, but I don't have it. I need to use some other methods to get up on the ledge.
Yeah.
What I'm gonna actually do here is to go to the controls and switch to dual stick, just to make this trick much easier for myself, or easier, or more like more consistent, let's say.
Yeah, so he's going to be standing on a very particular spot here. He's going to use something called the bomb space jump, where he like puts out some bombs, morphs, is going to get a few frames off the ground, about 21, 22, and then instantly unmorph. While he instantly unmorphs, he also needs to target the enemy at a distance, and that gives him a bit of acceleration, and he's going to try a side jump onto the platform there, which is typically not possible.
I got the jump there that I was looking for.
Yeah, you got also the boost, but not the direction, I guess.
No, I didn't get the target to the enemy.
Oh, okay. So this is the bread and butter mechanics we were talking about earlier with the bomb space jumps. Like, you morph ball, use a bomb, elevates you. Oh, nice job.
There you go.
Well done. The space jump is what gives him height. The targeting of the enemy from afar also gives him acceleration, which allows him to get onto that platform, and the rest is just solving a puzzle.
Do you know why I made a backup save?
No, why did you make up a backup save?
Because the backup for this trick, if I fall off, is much harder. The method I just did does not work anymore because I raised up the platform.
Right, and you can't exactly undo the puzzle.
I cannot undo it.
Yeah.
I have a one shot. I have a one shot for this, one try for this next trick. The backup is pretty much like a double frame perfect. I don't know. I tried it and I don't know how it works. And I would say never try to learn it if you're gonna learn this game. It's not worth it.
This room casually was a nightmare for me, but Samu's.
It's a spider track puzzle. However, I am not gonna do it. No worries.
Yeah, he's gonna basically morph right under this ledge here and unmorph to be able to get into a particular position, right?
I need to get a camera underneath the spider track.
Under the spider track, right. Yep. This is gonna allow him to hop onto some ledges behind him.
When I get the camera underneath that, then I'm good to attempt it. I'm not getting it the right way I want.
There you go. We saw the spider track.
And there you go. Now you can clap again because I did the puzzle.
Yep.
I was ready to say that you shouldn't clap because this is not done yet, but now it's done.
Now it's done. Now we got the plasma beam.
Yeah, like I said, if I fall off, I would have to do a backup strat that I don't know, meaning that I would have to redo this from a backup save. You saw if I was standing mid-air. Well, after you finish the puzzle, it will show up the platform there. But fortunately for us, the platform is always there. It's just not visible.
So that was your favorite skip then?
Yeah, that is my... Early plasma beam is my favorite trick of this game.
Right.
I like that because of that jump that you do at the
The
start.
physic usage there.
The bomb space jump and then that one jump at the end with the spring space jump. It is called a bomb space jump, BSJ, or spring space jump, SSJ. Just as terminology. Shortened, so you know what kind of trick I'm doing. There's a 2 BSJ, 2 bomb space jump. Same trick, but different ways to do that. For that first part of the trick, I did it a little bit differently. If you noticed, I was using a boost ball. Just to explain it this way, the boost ball makes it that I can actually unmorph there instantly. If I didn't use the boost ball, I wouldn't be able to do that actually. Just a little bit of detailed information why I was using a boost ball there for those who noticed me using it. Right now it's just a backtracking, which is one of the things in this game kinda known. It's too much backtracking sometimes. We go and collect some of the Chozo artifacts.
Yeah, we've only collected 2 so far.
Yeah. We'll collect more of them in a Chozo ruins. There are 3 in Chozo ruins. There are 2 in Makmur. No, actually. Yeah, there are 2 in Makmur. Ventrana has 3. Face of Mines has 2. Then Talon Overworld had 1, I believe. There are 12 overall. We need them all. Now is a good time for getting them, routing wise. One of these is this one that is kinda out of the way, unfortunately. So it's kinda hard to route this. I see my health is kinda low, so I'm just refilling my health quickly.
Yeah, those are actually really good enemies to just get like a lot of resources from.
Yeah, I can just missile them all at the same time and get so much energy. Or missiles too.
This is Chozo Ghost. Okay, I was like, no, the beetle does not come back.
Yeah, they are here now because I activated the ice beam. You may wonder why am I here without the gravity suit. In original, you can just do a regular like a underwater slope jump. But in a remaster, I have to do it a little bit differently by targeting against an object or an enemy. there's an object that I will just scan to. It's far away. Then I slope jump against a wall underwater, and I can get extra height to get up here.
Yeah, if anyone's played any Metroid games, you know that underwater you cannot really move. It's uncontrollable, it's slow. There's no navigating until you really get the gravity suit. No jumping, so the slope jump here with the targeting just makes it possible for him to get...
Yeah, gravity suit being one of the important items to navigate through any underwater sections for any Metroid game.
So we're at 3 artifacts now.
Yes.
Yes.
There's a missile up there. We don't need it. There are more missiles along the way we can grab.
How many missile expansions do you like to get?
About 40 to 45.
40 to 45 missiles?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't want to go below 30 at all.
That makes fights harder later.
Just makes it longer if I don't have like some missiles in some of the fights.
And energy tanks?
3 or 4 is my preferred amount. There's a really vast missile expansion here I will grab. Then on top of that, right here is another missile that I just grabbed.
Are they the same locations as the original or the Wii version?
Yeah, nothing has changed.
Okay, so you didn't have to do any new routing in that sense?
No.
Other than like working around things like Ice Beam and Space Jump?
Remastered version is the same as the original.
Yeah.
The missile and E-tank locations are not changed at all.
That's good.
But the routing-wise for the speedrun, it's different. We're gonna grab the artifact of wild next, and that is the Block Rush room. That's what for we need a Super Missile and Spider Ball to gain access there. Will be a good time for a donation if there is one, while I'm getting up there.
Thank you so much. We've had a $100 donation coming from the Burge72, who says, enjoying Metroid Prime Remastered. I loved the original. Stream 2 has been great. The Final Fantasy runs were hilarious. Thanks to everyone involved in making ESA happen. It's a great event for an important cause. No, thank you, the Burge.
That is the puzzle what Super Missile requires. Can't access it otherwise. Though I can say...
Ooh, that wasp.
It was after me. But I can say there is actually an out of bounds to skip that puzzle and get to the spider track.
Okay.
But,
I'm guessing it's not very nice.
But it's like the hardest trick in a game, probably.
Okay.
You go out of bounds for like 10 different rooms.
Just to skip this.
Just to skip one.
A puzzle that takes like 20 seconds to do.
Yeah, just to skip one equipment. It will be used only for low percent category. Low percent meaning that you just collect as less items as possible. So here are more Chozo coasts. They are really easy with the Super Missile. It one-shots them. Now just the one left. That is right there. Oh, the other one didn't die.
Oh, yeah.
I thought it died.
Yeah, they teleport around quite a bit, but they do stay stationary long enough that you can actually target them.
Yeah. I was surprised that the Super Missile missed. I kinda heard it didn't die, but I didn't register it in my head that, oh, it's still alive. But doesn't matter, we have enough Super Missiles, and with the 3 fully charged Power Beam shots, it would have been a fast fight regardless.
4th artifact.
Yes, that's a 4th one.
Oh, sorry, I like counting.
Yeah. Can count them to make sure which one I'm missing, or if I'm missing anything.
Oh, I wouldn't be able to tell you that. I played this once, it was great, but to remember all the Chozo artifact locations, I probably would need to read all the riddles and lore again.
Mm-hmm. Right now, we're heading back where Ice Beam was. In a Hall of Elders, there is a artifact we'll be collecting. That requires me to have a Plasma Beam to access that, and an Ice Beam to open a door. You move the statue to get an artifact, and with a Plasma Beam, I get to the bomb slot that is blocked by the Plasma Beam.
Okay. These little enemies seem to be very annoying when you're navigating between rooms.
Yeah, when they see me, they'll start to attack me.
Yeah.
They were on my way.
I'm guessing there's no way to like break the AI or make them like, or manipulate them in ways so that's...
Just to avoid their line of sight,
yeah.
I'd say.
Okay. Does it have a very wide range?
I'm not too sure. I will assume it's like a specific area whether you're standing on or going through, then they'll notice you. This activates the bomb slots with a wave beam, ice beam, and plasma beam protection.
Yeah, the colors are actually really important in this game because the colors signify the kind of beams that you need to use against them. And there's like 4 colors. We got white, red, purple, and blue. Purple is wave, yellow is power, white is ice, and red is plasma. And that's important for a lot of the enemies that you'll face between Space Pirates and Metroids because it will indicate which weapon you need to use against them. And more important for later fights on the game.
They are called...
And the doors.
They are called beam troopers that you need to use specific weapons to actually defeat them. And here's the 5th artifact.
Mustafa? Yeah, I feel like this run is very like heavy in its first like 3/4 of the game because that's where you do all the sequence breaks and stuff like that, and the rest is just kind of cleanup.
Yeah, the rest is cleanup after I've done the last hard trick. And after Invasion Mines, it will be just cleaning up and getting all of the remaining artifacts. There is one artifact you cannot collect without having a Invasion suit, especially in a remastered version. There will be a save point on our right side. I'm actually gonna do a hard trick right here, so I have a backup file ready in case something goes wrong. Hopefully not. We're gonna go to Talon Overworld from this elevator. And if you've played the game, there's an X-ray. X-ray, as the name says, we can see through on objects. And it will be important for one of the boss fights. World 2, in fact.
Yeah, this one's an interesting skip because from what I've seen you do, and in like your previous runs at events, like SGDQ, it's not a very easy one to pull off, and it's not easily explained why it does and doesn't work. It's just about getting it right.
Yeah, so we go out of bounds with a slope jump.
Yeah.
And the way it works, I don't know how I can explain it any better than just hoping that I get a specific jumps, specific chop spots.
So there's a maximum.
Oh, I got it.
Oh my god, first try?
Well, it's not over yet. So I'm out of bounds. I need to land on this door. Nice.
Jump again to load the area. Yeah, he's doing basically room transitions here. Jumping below to get to another room. And you always have to go to the door frames. They're very important.
I got it first try.
That was incredible. That looks so hard when I watch you do it.
Triclops ruined this run.
Yeah, it did. That
the little thing just soft locked me.
That slope jump is really hard because you have to wait till you get to maximum point of that jump to be able to unmorph and then also like, or morph ball and then be able to climb onto that ledge that you were
The morph ball is actually not required to go out of bounds, but it helps to get out of bounds.
But getting the maximum point of that jump is hard.
Yeah, the slope jump, in a certain way, I have to slide against the wall to get the extra height. And that part is just so hard that I don't know why it works. Like holding a direction and in a control stick would help, but I don't know how I got it first try.
Yeah, I can't believe Triclops failed you after that.
Yeah, Triclops just is not a homie, I guess, of this stream, this run. But that's all of the hard tricks done. Now it's just a clean up and going through the Invasion Mines.
Nice job.
So I got the X-ray. I don't have a power bomb. Now I have a power bomb. Just using a power bomb shows the room actual layout. In a map it shows it's a small room, but you can see it's actually bigger.
I think this game has like really cool HUDs from like both the mini map, so you can see like where you're at, especially with room transitions and stuff like that, and then the sensor for like where enemies are around you.
It's really
very informative.
It's really good.
Very cleanly designed.
For those who've played the original and seen the speedruns, you wonder why I'm not just jumping over the gate. There's an invisible wall. I can't jump over the gate. I have to go out of bounds the harder way. So here is the bread and butter trick bomb space jump. I have to get the camera stuck in a little different specific way. Oh!
Ooh, first try.
I got it. Yeah.
Not bad.
So I guess the Triclops fail was just the first try fail.
Well, you actually got it really quick where Triclops did push you out of that wall very fast. Just was very unfortunate RNG.
Yeah, bad luck. Okay.
Because I've seen you like attempt these skips like multiple times waiting for like the right conditions to line up and not have it happen for you.
Yeah. I spent some time practicing it yesterday and I was thinking in my head when I was soft locking a couple times that okay, I guess I'm gonna soft lock, or when I got it first try a couple times I'm like okay, I guess I'm gonna get it first try either way. And one of them happened.
We're at 6 artifacts by the way, so
yes,
finally halfway.
Halfway done. We're in Phase on Mines.
Ooh. So, interesting thing about this planet, you'll like read all the Chozo lore and they'll tell you that some massive thing struck the planet.
I forgot something.
Ooh. Yeah, this is important.
I actually gotta head back.
Okay. What'd you forget?
Or is it down here? I don't have a power bomb.
Oh, okay. All right, go get the power bomb. Hopefully there is one here.
That doesn't drop, obviously.
All right, I'll do some lore in the meantime while you go get it.
Yeah, I don't know other location where a power bomb is, so I have to get back to that location where I know a power bomb drops.
Okay. So yeah, if you read the Chozo lore throughout the world, you'll realize they talk about something impacting the side of the planet at some point, and that's called the impact crater. Turns out something massive strikes it and then causes the problems on Talon 4 that we see today, being the great poison that they describe. Turns out the great poison is called Phazon, and Phazon is this like super like deadly energy, radiation, that is kind of destroying the planet and everything on it and altering it, genetically altering it. And the Phazon mines are actually really scary because if you don't have the right equipment for it, they can be very deadly and kill you. Turns out the Space Pirates came specifically for the Phazon, and that's what they're using in their experimentation to alter Space Pirates and everything else. That's the energy source that we're chasing, so they're like the big bad in the world.
Yes.
Nice.
Now I got it. Now we can head back.
And the Chozo are like the wise protectors of the world, essentially. And then Samus is just like this mercenary slash bounty hunter that does anything that she wants to do and doesn't really listen to orders. But she's cool. She has a big heart. She wants to save the world. Mm-hmm. It's always her. It's on her to save the world, too. All the time.
What I really love about this game is the atmosphere. Samus is alone here in a planet.
I think it's always like that, but I guess in other games she has had like companions that sort of like talk to her or help her out.
Yeah, in a second game there are Luminauts she'll be interacting with. Then a Prime 3 is, for those who know, it's just a Galactic Federation she'll be interacting with. Okay, now, where are we at?
You were going to do a nice sequence break so you don't go through the underlevels, I guess.
Yes,
and
so that door there.
Right, that is not normally accessible, but he's going to use his Space Pirate to target onto, and he's going to do a series of space jumps, and using L physics, and using first try. What, Samu? You're making this look too easy.
I'm just good at video games.
I'm just good at video games. I didn't even have time to explain it.
Yeah.
We got there.
Not actually L physics, just to confirm. It's
Is that L physics there?
L physics. You mean L jumps?
L jumps.
Yeah,
sorry.
That's not an L jump.
Okay.
They're not in a remaster. Just so you know. Yeah, it happens. Happens to the.
There was a lot I had to learn over 2 days about these runs.
Yeah. The resources for the remastered, it's kind of scattered around. Just mostly videos and if you know the Wii version, you know Remastered basically as a speedrun.
Grapple beam.
Yeah, grapple beam. One of the last items in a game actually, which I was surprised in that how late it was in a game. One trick we didn't mention, or glitch rather, is infinite speed, which you may have not seen. You haven't seen me do at all in a remastered version. It doesn't work since I cannot get stuck in between a wall and a block. With that, the infinite speed basically is a glitch that lets me interact with all the objects that are loaded. Enemies, items, and so forth. So it would be good and helpful to grab some artifacts without needing specific equipments. But since it doesn't work in this version, I cannot use it.
Yeah, so if you're familiar with the OG, then it's that and the scan dashes that are not around for this game.
Those are like the good things good to explain why I'm not doing them. And why are they may not be working in this game. That's one of the experiments.
Yes.
Based on Mines, Elite Pirate.
Yep. So they experimented on themselves essentially.
This is gonna be a hard fight.
Very hard fight.
Yeah, very hard fight. I had to just go out around it. See you soon, Elite Pirate.
Bye. I like that. You can just like leave the Space Pirate alone.
Yeah. If I didn't target the Elite Pirate, I wouldn't be able to do that skip actually. It is in our original version too, and it's just really easy just to do L jump.
Yeah, so I highly recommend that if you haven't played this game, play it and read through the lore and the scans of every one of the enemies and the monsters and the computers, because they tell you a lot about how messed up the experimentations here were. Most of the experimentation they did on the Space Pirates with the Phazon went really bad. This one he's going to have to fight.
Yes.
This one's just rapid missile shots, right? He's in your face.
I'm stuck. Stuck. There. All right, Ashvin, I have a trivia question. What triggers that fight?
What triggers the fight?
Yes. Does anyone else in that room know?
Anyone?
This is a trivia question to everyone. I know the answer.
Maybe even people in chat, if they want to...
The people in the chat will probably know.
Send in a donation.
Maze puzzle has a multiple solutions. Zoid, who made the Engineered the Throne mini-boss fight, also worked on this. I'm getting a perfect RNG.
You're getting really bad at it.
It's literally right there.
But I thought that was really cool that you said that this puzzle in particular has like hundreds of solutions.
Yeah, so there's hundreds of solutions in the original. Probably more were added for the remastered version because
that makes no sense to me.
How advanced the Switch version is. So I would assume there are more solutions. And I just got one of the best ones. Like literally just a couple.
From a dev standpoint, I don't understand why you would make hundreds of solutions for that puzzle.
Just to make it random. I don't know.
Just to make it hard for speedrunners.
Just to make it hard, more fun, interesting, and not like just simple that there's a one solution only. But yeah, just to answer that question from the previous room, I'm gonna spoil now for those who haven't answered yet. Plasma beam activates that fight. Yeah.
So if they sense that you have plasma beam, then they'll...
So when I have a plasma beam, that fight will trigger.
Okay. Metroids, fun.
Yeah, they block them for a good reason.
Yeah.
I know they just type
Yep.
for my mistake.
Yeah. So when the Space Pirates came here, they actually created a lot of barriers and stuff from like the Phazon and the rest of the planet just to prevent stuff like this happening and the Metroids getting out, because obviously they're the predator.
The one
is chasing you.
Get out of my way.
He's in the way.
Get out of my way.
There's 4. You had to use a power bomb there to...
I mean, I don't have to, but I had to.
You had to.
They were not homies. They were with the Triclops.
You've had a lot of that happen this run. Just enemies just like
Yeah.
smacking you out of the way or getting in your way.
Yeah, I'm all up for the content, so that's good. Now we're gonna head to lower mines. You see, this is what I really liked about the detail there. You see, it's just gone. That's Impact Crater, by the way.
Yeah.
If you didn't know.
Yeah. The Phazon mines are cool.
It's an interesting location. Yeah, Plasma Beam is OP, it one-shots them.
This is where it kind of gets a little scary, because Metroids...
These are Hunter Metroids. They will grow bigger if they start attacking me and actually hit me too. So I'm just gonna do this. Please don't touch me.
These are like the alpha predators of SR388, I think.
Yeah,
they're like a big predator
so.
in the universe.
Yeah, they're Hunter Metroids. They are Metroids still, just a little bit different. Later on, we'll be seeing one kind of a Metroid type as well, which is not shown yet. I guess I will do this. Phazon is deadly. If I stand on it for too long, I'm just gonna lose all of my health. That's a slope jump I just did there.
So why do you use the X-ray vision there?
So I can see where I'm going.
Okay. It was a dark room?
Yeah, it's a dark room.
Okay.
Makes it easier for me to navigate and know where I am. In my own monitor, this is much brighter than my own monitors. It was much easier to actually see without the X-ray even.
Yeah, I've heard that from all the speedrunners this event, that the monitors here are just super bright. They can see things.
Yeah, it doesn't bother me at least. It actually helped me. Is there one more alive somewhere?
Yep.
Below me? Oh. I thought it was one alive there, down there. Okay.
I would say while the skips have been very nice to you this game, the enemies have not.
Yeah, the enemies have been going after me. Yeah, this is a... I'm actually gonna make a safety save in case something terrible happens. You never
Of this
know.
upcoming fight?
No, it's not the hardest fight, but I never know something terrible is gonna happen. The game just decides to make the boss fight twice stronger or something.
So, yeah, there have been various experimentations on the Space Pirates here. A lot of them have been very unfortunate and sad and have ended up in very messed up Space Pirates. Some of them have been successful, including the one that we're about to see. This one's called the Omega Space Pirates.
Omega Pirates.
Yes. This one's enhanced by Phazon, which is what makes it so strong and successful.
It has a weak point in the shoulder and knees, but by just power bombing it, I cannot...
Did it not work?
It worked, but I guess I used the wrong spot. I'm not too sure.
Okay.
I still have missiles on line. Just stop punching me.
I see why you made the save now. So normally he's supposed to use a power ball there to destroy all of its like extra equipment on his shoulders, its knees, and all this kind of stuff. It downs it and it goes into a second
I'm throwing
phase.
more content right
Yeah,
here.
you are. The other alternative method is that you shoot out these parts with the missiles and obviously avoid its attacks while
Right
it's
now I
doing
have
so.
30 missiles and I have to keep them for the next phase, which is where I start damaging it.
Yeah, so a nice thing also about this room is it has 3 pools, and Samu's position and relevance to the pools is super important, because the furthest he is away from a pool, it means that the Mega Pirate will spawn there in between these transitions and cycles of this boss. In the middle of the cycles, you get regular Space Pirates that come attack you. They'll be weak to different kind of beams, but this is where he's projecting the Mega Pirate to spawn, and he knows it's going to spawn there. He's going to use his X-ray vision to be able to see it. And dish out, what is it, 2 regular missiles and 1 super missile on it?
Yes.
And then now he's going to stand to the opposite of another pool in this side of the room to be able to spawn it right in front of him as well. So he's basically manipulating where it ends up. And that's a 2-pool fight.
Yeah. I had to improvise there when I noticed that I have 6 missiles. I can't shoot 2 missiles, then fire my super missile. I have to use a missile and some couple shots, then hope the super missile is gonna to cycle the boss fight. That was Omega Pirate. On normal mode, it will be much different, a little harder. Oh yeah, we got a gravity suit. Nice.
It's a cool suit.
Yeah.
The purple is really nice.
Yeah. Phazon suit.
Yeah.
Acquire it.
This is
I thought that was a gravity suit.
Yeah, I was about to say this is the Phazon, because the Mega Pirate has the Phazon abilities.
Yes.
And this is where you get the Phazon abilities from as well.
Mm-hmm. We still don't have a gravity suit, actually.
Yeah.
The upgrade is there, waiting for us to be grabbed.
This makes it possible for us not to take damage by the Phazon in the mines anymore.
We are immune to it right now.
Yeah.
Lots of Metroids that are gonna block my way. One just touched me. Uh-oh. Something you may have not seen ever.
The Fission Metroids?
Yes, they are Metroids that will
split apart.
Split. Yeah, I was looking for that word.
Yes.
They are gonna split into different beam colors. So if they turn into red, the weakness is plasma beam. If they turn into white, they will. Why did I use? If they turn into white, it will be ice beam weakness, and so forth, with the wave beam being purple and power beam being yellow. This will be impossible to collect without the Phazon suit in the original, in this version, because the Phazon just takes out all of your health.
There's way too many obstacles here, it seems, to like, even with maximum energy tanks, you probably...
Yeah, with the maximum, you just die in a couple seconds. In the original, and I think in the Wii version, but at least in the original, you can get through that with all of the E-tanks that are available right now for you.
That's the 7th artifact of 12. We're getting there.
Yeah, right now, it is just collecting the remaining artifacts we have missed. There are a couple in Ventrana and one in what is it called? Makmur.
Oh.
Yeah, so they can die through the loading zone because they cannot.
Oh, that's actually really cool. They just exploded on entry.
Why are you being not so homey?
They're not being very nice this time around.
Okay, you know what? I just hope I can get some power bomb because I'll be needing them in a couple of rooms ahead.
Do you know where there might be some power bomb pickups in this area?
Metroids?
Yeah, the good thing about them is you can use the ice beam to freeze them. So that's nice if you kind of want to... Don't kill them by doing that. Oh, you do?
Yeah, you do. You do kill them with a missile.
With a missile, okay.
Yeah.
You freeze them, follow up with a missile.
I'm drawing for content right here.
It's
so
like the skips went so well, it's like the Metroids are like, now we're not letting you have this.
The power bomb is recovered for one of the artifacts that is in here in the Mason Mines. That's why I had to grab one. In case well, I need only one, but the other one is for the later.
Is this Metroid gonna chase you up here?
Yeah, it might be showing up here. Yeah, there it is.
Ooh, okay.
It showed it.
Didn't succeed though.
Yeah, it showed up in my Summer Games Done quick run. You see that?
I think it pushed you off.
Yeah, it pushed me off too. Alright, fourth E-Tank. Oh yeah, you can say High Vision Metroid.
High Vision Metroid.
And bye. You know why that happens?
On entry of the room?
Yeah.
No.
It does because of Basin.
Because of the phase-on suit that you have?
Oh, no, Basin that is on the ground.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Get me through.
I thought the phase-on would make them stronger, but I know from the lore in this game, not everything is compatible with phase-on. Actually, a lot of things have died in exposure to it. And then, like, even these space pirates, a lot of them, the reason why they're in cryo sleep is not because they're storing them, but because they're actually so aggressive and they've kind of gone psychotic from the phase-on experimentations that they just, like, attack anything on sight.
Yeah.
So they put them in sleep. That's, like, the only way to deal with it. But they die very quickly.
Yeah. Despite it will be possible to skip it. However, I'll be going through this room one more time later. So it will be better to just take it down. The room and the door that I came from will be locked, so I have to fight it. Better fight it now than later. Doesn't matter when, but good to fight it still. Okay, I need some missiles. Good.
That's actually such nice tech. Like, yeah, sure, things don't, like, you know, attract you when you get drops and stuff, but your charge beam is enough to
Yeah, the charge beam and does.
Grab items.
Yeah, it's really good.
I love that about Metroid.
You can even go through the rooms, I think, and the walls too. Okay, oh yeah, this is important. I need to drop down here and get blocked by a Metroid.
No, we're not gonna get blocked by a Metroid. Oh, we did.
Why did you say that? I'm gonna have to use a power bomb soon if they don't.
Okay, no.
Oh! Okay, we're fine. We're fine.
Does it happen frequently that they block your way out?
Every time when I go there.
Okay. You slipped out today. It's fine.
Alright, I have to shoot the up left corner that I'm not even aiming at. Great. Oh.
This pirate really just wants to stay in your sight.
Alright, I got it. So I have to get through this.
This clip is kind of cool.
Yeah, it's weird.
So is it just like you morphing and then just slipping through like a part of the wall?
I slip through by unmorphing.
Oh, okay.
It's not like the super difficult.
Is it a thin wall?
It's like a specific specific way I have to unmorph then I get through that. That looked like I got through, but I'm just like just barely outside. I don't know. I cannot at least get stuck, which is a good thing.
Okay. That you know yet.
There you go.
Nice.
Can hear those cameras activating.
Another pirate that we have to fight.
Yeah, this pirate actually activates after you have collected power bombs.
This one's called the Phase-On pirate, as you can tell.
Phase-On Elite.
Oh yeah, Phase-On Elite.
So like I said, this activates after the power bomb you've collected. And just to be specific, it has to be a main power bomb, not the expansion. Well, I almost soft locked that. Well, actually no, I wouldn't soft lock. It wouldn't matter, but I would have to just go around a little bit. slower path.
8th artifact. 4 more to go.
I probably wanna...
Is that the rest in the Phazon? Or, well, in these labs?
Yeah, Phazon is done with artifacts. Yeah. Next is gonna be Ventrana Drifts. There is actually a way to jump on that little pipe that is underneath that platform, underneath that like a ledge. But with all of those cameras being active and shooting me, I don't think I will be standing on that easily.
There's too much that you have to deal with to make it possible for you.
Scanning that so we can activate the whatever drone that is to break this wall for us.
This suit is so cool.
It is very good looking suit.
Black and red, good colors.
The color scheme fits really well. All of the Metroids are after me, but it won't matter because they are not gonna touch me. Uh-oh. Okay, they didn't touch me.
So room transitions kill them.
Yeah, they cannot go from a room to a room.
That's actually really good. I kind of like that like enemies are bound for in one area.
Yeah. In the original, there is a way to bring one of the Metroids into another room.
Why would you want to bring a Metroid into another room?
So you can go out of bounds.
Ah, so you use the Metroid to help you go out of bounds.
Yeah, it is
like the
one of the harder tricks in original.
That's cool.
Can I get some missiles? Thank you. Ow. Okay. We have one power bomb. That's all we need.
That was a very fast boost.
This is the fastest way we can get back to Ventrana Drifts. There are 2 artifacts we need to collect. Should I just take down these 2 beam troopers quickly?
Yeah, you're going to be using a series of slope jumps here, aren't you?
These are actually not slope jumps.
It's not? They're space jumps? They're just regular space jumps?
Yeah, I'm just standing on these ledges.
All right.
Not the hardest
thing. Just a series of platforming with space jumps.
Not the hardest thing, but the upcoming enemy that is the camera will start shooting me soon.
There you are.
I'm good. Shout out to the ESA monitors having the brightness up. I can actually see where I'm standing. It really helps me. On my monitors, it's just bright enough that I can actually see where I'm standing on. That spot is really dark on my monitor.
All right. You need new monitors.
Yeah, I guess. I'll just set up the brightness more up. Okay. We are in Makmur. I'm stuck. I'm not stuck. There is an enemy right here that I will kill. This is guaranteed to drop a power bomb. I need this power bomb for the next artifact. That is why I had to kill it. There are some drops I could try, but I don't wanna rely on the RNG or the locations
that I have. Are you
gonna
save here?
No, I don't need to save anymore.
Okay.
No more soft lock potentials.
Aw, I was just enjoying the music.
Yeah. You'll enjoy it when we are heading back to the ship. We'll be still coming back to the Makmur. There is an artifact, I don't remember its name, I think it's Ventrana's Edge called, but the artifact requires me to have a power bomb and a plasma beam.
Do you have a favorite area in this game?
Ventrana Drifts.
Ventrana Drifts, okay.
I just love how the atmosphere of this area is like... no pun intended. I'm not gonna even say it actually. I'm not gonna say it.
Chow will understand.
Yeah, you will know what I meant. And for the remastered version, the area just looks beautiful. It looks amazing. This enemy right here, where are you? There you are.
Little hunter Metroid.
Give me the missiles. I need them just in case, I guess. I don't know. Do I actually need them? Slope jump against that corner right there, and I can actually skip this part. I don't have to take down that icicle, which I can stand on. These enemies are just easily one-shotted with a fully charged or partially charged plasma beam, because they burn from that. Oh, hold up. Do I need to go here? There we go. Yeah, being just below the grapple beam slot, I can just grapple beam to it from below. I shot through that rock to open the door.
That's a hidden area. I remember it took me a long time to find that one.
Yeah, it takes a while. This is like one of the really obscure locations to find an artifact in.
9 out of 12, I think.
Oh, that's okay.
What, did you just like bounce off the branch there?
I think it was a branch or just some small obstacle. Didn't drop down to the water. I'm good, I'm good. Wouldn't be the end of the world anyway. I'm not stuck there. Doesn't mean I would have to go get the gravity suit.
Yeah.
If I get to the gravity suit room, then I will have to go get it. You notice I tried to unmorph there. You heard the sound effect? That's the sound effect you would hear when the game is not gonna let you to morph. It will be against the wall or you're in a location like a morph ball holes. That's... Oh yeah, you cannot even open it with that. There we go. There's one artifact here in the Petrona Drifts that requires me to have a plasma beam. Small branch I can stand on, just barely. I'm gonna kill that enemy so it's not gonna drop me off. That's a little small ledge, really thin edge to land on. Can easily fall off by just sliding.
This map is really huge.
It's pretty big, yeah.
Yeah, it's very big interconnecting areas, and you see them often because you're like backtracking to them multiple times to get like different objectives. But the nice thing is the level design is so nice that there's like multiple entrances to them as well.
Yeah, there are multiple ways to go from an area to area. Plasma beam is pretty good in this game.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
I think it's pretty good.
Your movement is so clean, I just want to go back and play the game. Try it out with the Joy-Cons now.
What did you play it with?
The Pro Switch controller.
And control scheme?
I think it was a default, so probably dual sticks.
Might have been.
Yeah.
Oh, this cutscene is playing. This plays when I get the boost ball, which I got like 40 minutes ago.
Yeah, this is supposed to have played much earlier.
Much earlier.
You see Ridley like flying across.
After the boost ball, you will head back to Talon Overworld. Behind the your spaceship, you will collect the space jump boots. But as I've been getting them out of order, that cutscene is playing much later.
Yeah, there's an artifact in the hall here as well.
Yeah, right next to the wave beam. Can't get it any earlier. With an infinite speed that is working in a original and a Wii versions, like we mentioned about. Wouldn't have to backtrack here, but since it's not working, we have to get back here with the plasma beam.
Yeah, I definitely recommend watching the differences. Like if you've never seen the original speedrun, like either GameCube or Wii versions, like watch them. They have...
Well, Wii versions speedrun is also interesting. It's a vastly different route than GameCube or the remastered version.
Yeah, I think that's the cool thing. So if you're like into Metroid Prime and you like the game, watch every one of them because they're all different in their own ways.
Yes.
Nothing is... There are consistencies, but there are differences as well, which kind of makes them cool. It's nice to also like see like what tech works for one game and doesn't work for the other. That was the 10th artifact, so 2 more to go.
2 more to go.
And then we're moving towards endgame. You've only speedrun the GameCube version, right?
Yeah, I speedrun the GameCube version, not the Wii version. And obviously the remastered version as well.
Is there a reason you didn't do the Wii version?
I just... sorry?
Is there a reason you didn't do it?
Because I don't have the game.
Oh, you don't have the game.
Not yet.
It'd be cool to do like back-to-back speedruns of
be,
GameCube, Wii into Remastered.
That will be an interesting speedrun.
Yeah, I think that would be nice because it's like there's similarities, but there's also differences, and it'd be cool to see them back-to-back.
Yeah. At one point, I did a one run with Metroid Prime 1, 2, and 3 back-to-back.
Oh, no, that's cool.
I really wanna go back to that and get like a nice time.
Yeah, those are fun when you kind of like make them into like mini events.
Yeah.
Speedrunning multiple games.
It's usually really fun to combine games together. It is actually possible to skip that little bridge that I just built, but the jump is not like the easiest thing in the world, and if I fall off, I have to climb back up just to get this one artifact.
Yeah. 11th artifact.
One more.
Do we have maybe time for donations or messages?
Yes,
while
we
we
have
walk
time.
up to it?
Yeah, we have just a little bit of backtrack back to the
Okay.
Fallen Overworld.
Yeah, probably a good time for any messages.
Now is a good time.
Brilliant, thank you so much. I want to remind everybody of some of the awesome prizes that you can get for donating. We're approaching the $69,000 mark, and so now is one of the best times that you can get your donation in. And don't forget, all of the prizes are available at prizes.esamarathon.com, including some of our grand prizes, such as a custom ESA PlayStation 5, a Tears of the Kingdom limited edition Switch, and a DualSense Edge PS5 controller, all available as grand prizes, as well as some of our daily prizes. One of the daily prizes today is a very cute little squishy that was donated by HUDs. We've got a Knuckles Squishmallow and a Sonic Squishmallow, both available for minimum donations of $15. So check them all out, prizes.esamarathon.com.
Do you have a Tears of the Kingdom Switch?
No, I was thinking of getting it.
I feel like you should. You do run Tears of the Kingdom.
Though I already have 2 Switches. That's why.
Third one for a collection.
Sounds like you need a third.
Yeah.
It's tempting, but
It's
$250.
It's a really cool Switch.
it looks nice. I would have liked to get a Pro controller, but I couldn't find it. It's been all.
Yeah, that sold out so quickly.
Yeah.
Was there anything for Metroid? I don't feel like there was anything for Metroid Prime Remastered, was there?
No.
Like it just came out too fast.
Yeah,
Maybe a new Metroid game. We need some Metroid peripherals and stuff.
Someday we'll get the.
I have I think a Metroid GameCube. It's like a little faceplate that you can
Oh.
switch out.
That's also
Yeah.
really nice. Here's the ship.
Back to the ship.
We're gonna make a safety save for no reason, but the main reason I'm here is to get my health back, and it also gives me all of the missiles and power bombs. We'll be needing it for the next fight that is coming up.
Yeah.
On the original version, there would be a really cool scan dash off from the ship to this ledge. It would have been awesome to do it in this version, but doesn't work for many reasons.
So this is the impact crater. This is what was like sealed away by the Chozo to make sure the spread of the great poison of the Phazon doesn't like destroy
Yes.
the entire planet, while they waited for the savior they prophesized or foresaw was going to show up to come and fix things. That's why there's 12 artifacts all around the world, so that no one can like come and unlock it, and the space parts were too dumb to figure it out anyways. So yeah, the last artifact acquired, which means we'll be seeing one of our favorite nemesis again.
Yeah, the boss fight will happen here just before Samus open the gate. Meta Ridley shows up. We'll have to fight it.
Yeah, I kind of wanted to ask you about how this differs from the OG, because from what I know from this, you will just use plasma beams and maybe a few ice beams to be able to defeat Meta Ridley, but it's like this huge thing of it. Meta Ridley flying away and coming back, and flying away and coming back. Is there a faster way to do this in the OG?
In our original version, you will be using a boost ball to deal the damage.
Okay.
But it was already patched for the V version.
Oh, okay.
We have to just use plasma beam super missiles to deal
well.
damage.
It's a really drawn out fight.
And the flying phase is just, yeah, no can do. It's what it is. We're trying to shoot at a certain time to get get some damage in. When it's below, like when it's 25 HP left, that's when Ridley will start the ground phase. So it's
Like, are you hitting Ridley when he's flying overhead when you're shooting those charged plasma beams?
yeah, I'm trying to hit its weak point while it's flying, which is
But it's
not
hard.
easy. It's
Okay.
it's really hard.
I see.
It's not the greatest RNG. It went down, then it started flying again, which is gonna. I'm not too sure is it RNG, but I wouldn't be surprised it is. That didn't.
Oh, didn't get it.
Yeah, I just go for like by my feels that I might be able to hit it now. I kind of remember the spot where it flies through. Yeah, those were too early. Those shots.
Yeah, it seems like it's really hard to like actually deal any damage just when it's flying overhead.
Yeah, it's just keep flying. not the greatest fight, I would say.
Yeah, I feel like I would be frustrated with this fight to try and get like a good fight down.
Yeah, optimally I would like to have like 2 flying phases, but now it's fourth.
Yeah, if I feel like I was trying to do PBs, this would kind of mess me up.
There you go, got a one shot at least.
Nice.
I'm not. I'm kind of low on missiles, even though I have 20 of them. I just try to.
Isn't it that when he breaks like the stuff in the environment here, they can also drop missiles? Okay, this is the second part of the fight where Meta Ridley isn't...
Now it starts.
Yeah.
It wasn't gonna start if I didn't damage it below.
Right. The M, I think, is what the marker is. Like Meta Ridley, if you see the HP bar over his name, when it gets below the M, that's when the second phase starts. So this is easy because it's just a bunch of ice, charge ice beams, avoiding the attacks. And just dishing out damage towards his like core, his chest. So while Meta Ridley has been enhanced, he still has weaknesses.
Yeah. For some reason, ice is the best DPS instead of a plasma beam. That's the way we'll do this fight. You noticed how it did like a ground pound, the jumping up mid-air? That is not in our original version. That is an added attack for the follow-up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
They changed up Meta Ridley a bit. I'm okay with that. I think a few changes can be okay.
Yeah, changes are good. Making the fight harder.
I just remember this fight being long.
Alright, and that's the fight. Wasn't the fastest, but we made it through.
Once again.
I believe these are Choso's made it like a statues as like the security. So
to prevent anyone that isn't the chosen one to actually like enter. Probably. That makes sense. See now everything lights up.
Even though the statues are destroyed and Ridley destroyed the entrance, the Choso's ghosts will still give us an access.
Yeah.
To the impact crater.
I don't think I explained that, but the Chozo ghosts were obviously only possible because of the phase-on. They probably got corrupted by it as well, which is why some of them were attacking us.
Yeah.
They're generally nice. Impact crater. Now we enter it.
I would like to explain more about the impact crater as a lore from the third game, but it will be a spoiler if you haven't played it.
Yeah.
So
I was about to say.
I'm not gonna say anything about it.
It's cool though. Play the other games.
Yeah. If you play them, you'll understand the importance of this impact crater too.
They do, however, mention of something else. Like the Chozo talk about the impact crater, and they talk about something called the worm showing up. And the worm has nothing to do with the actual impact crater, but something that piggybacked on whatever crashed onto the side of the planet Talon 4. That worm is going to be our next boss, and they described it as something very dangerous, just feeding off the planet.
Alright. I have 5 missiles. I'm actually gonna take my time to go and refill my missiles in this room.
There is a refill
just to make the next boss fight faster.
Yeah.
Not
this
necessary.
Is the last boss fight, too.
There was a save point after the impact crater entrance. Would have been saved there, but no need to. Also nice health. I can make a small shortcut jumping on this. Impact crater will be the only location where Vision Metroid shows up if you're in the original version. But they showed up in a remastered and a PAL version in a Samura1man. Because I think the designer of the Vision Metroids wanted them to show up in more places than just the impact crater. So this is Metroid Prime.
The worm!
The final boss of the game. The animation for running after Metroid Prime looks so smooth. I love it. It's amazing.
It's a really cool fight.
Yeah. The name of the game is the final boss.
Yeah, so the way that this fight works is it has several phases, and as you can tell, it has colors on the rings of its body. Those indicate the kind of weapons that you need to use. And if I remember correctly from what Samu was saying, the first phase is always consistent between either plasma or power.
No, it's the first phase is always
Wave
beam and power beam.
Okay, wave beam and power.
Then for each phase, it starts adding a new beam. So the next phase will have ice beam added. Then the next phase after that, it will be plasma beam. Then on the final phase, it will be random. The order, the combination.
Samus has no fear. She just front flips right after him.
Yep.
Or it.
The order of the weakness is random. Right now we have ice beam. Ice beam is not the best usually because how slow it is. Though Metroid Prime is a Metroid, it takes more damage from ice.
It's scary big.
I did some trick shots there and got some extra DPS there. And that's the Wave Beam phase done. Next is gonna be Power Beam. And with the Power Beam I can just do
yeah, you're going through these phases really fast.
Yeah, I'm doing a Super Missile and the phase is done.
Is there a weak point on it, you said? Or is it all just a weak point?
The weak point is literally the head that I'm shooting at. I just managed to deal enough damage to skip the Wave Beam.
That's awesome.
This part I'm gonna use a boost ball or just a morph ball to actually skip that part where it tries to catch me.
It goes over you?
Yeah, it will catch me to its glove and damage me that way.
I wish I knew this in my first playthrough.
Not everyone knew. Even Saylux, who was doing a commentary for my Summer Games Done Quick Run, he didn't know about it, so he was surprised about it.
This is why you watch other people do speedruns, because you learn things.
Yeah, learning speedruns from other people is usually a good way to see that. Oh, that's a thing. I didn't even know.
You never seen that before?
I knew about it before I even run this game. Oh, Super Missile. I got it. Nice.
Yeah, but if you're ever looking to speedrun a game, don't just watch the person who has a world record. Like, watch all kinds of runs on the leaderboard, because you like notice how people do things differently.
I forgot I have one more base.
All right.
What do I have to? What is after this? Oh, ice. I forgot. Okay, that's that part.
Now on to phase 2.
The final phase. The order will be random. It can be plasma, ice, or ice and power, and it can randomly change that if I'm too far away from it. The Metroid Prime. Oh, it changed to plasma. Oh, it can also randomly just charge. Yeah.
Which is always annoying.
Yeah, it's annoying.
Because you can't actually do damage to it when it's charging.
Ideally, what I want is plasma and ice. The best weapons for fighting this. Power Beam wouldn't be bad either because I can use Super Missiles. I missed a shot, but it's okay. If I'm close to Metroid Prime, I'm gonna just force it to change between ice and plasma beam now. This is a good fight. Got lucky there, but I'm missing my shots.
What makes the ice better than something else?
Just better DPS.
Just better DPS, that's all.
Better DPS because Metroid Prime is a Metroid.
Okay.
Metroids take more damage
from ice.
From ice.
Yeah. So you want the ice.
Wave Beam is not bad, but it has a homing effect from charge shots. It's just a lower DPS, less damage. Better way to say it.
Is that something that the game explicitly tells you that they're weak to, or is just like you kind of know this information from playing multiple Metroids?
The weakness.
Yeah.
I think the game doesn't really tell you.
It's just one of those things you know.
Yeah, I think you notice them while fighting enemies that this stuns an enemy. Oh, this freezes an enemy. Okay, now I was too far from that is the Metroid Prime on a final phase. It's annoying, and it could have gone a different way too. But that's the first phase. There's one more though.
That's one drop.
Oh, it's Metroid Prime again.
Yeah.
This time it's an Essence. The previous one is called Exoskeleton, because it's a crab skeleton.
This one's scarier.
Yeah, and this is Essence. It's basically the Metroid Prime in its soul form.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you about this fight, because what Samu's gonna do here is like very timed shots to basically get Metroid Prime to behave the way you want to.
Yeah, manipulating its movement so it can spawn a new pool of Phazon for me to shoot Phazon from.
Yeah, when you jump into a Phazon pool, which is what you see on the ground there, you get hyper mode. And you do more damage. You basically get like empowered by this Phazon. I'm guessing the Phazon suit helps.
Yeah. I was gonna say that you need the Phazon suit to even use the hyper mode. Without the Phazon suit, it's impossible to beat Metroid Prime. That's what I wanted to say.
Yeah. And he's using this visor because this enemy goes invisible between phases. So you have no idea where it is unless you're using that specific visor to see it.
If the Metroid Prime is too close to its skeleton, its original body, it will change between the visors.
Oh.
That's why I want it to be in a specific spot, like
I
around
see.
the room.
Okay. I didn't even realize that was its body, but that makes sense. Yeah, because normally it gets away from you and it makes it hard and you have to chase it around and like try and find a new pool to sit at.
Metroid Prime is a weird way to explain like any better than this, but it's kind of hard. Kind of hard because
yeah, it's hard as well, even when you see it. But you know the timing, you know how to manipulate it. Otherwise, it gets like really chaotic, which can be really rough. Because not only does it fight you and you have to avoid its pulses and damage and everything like that, it spawns a lot of Metroids between each pool that you get hyper mode at. So there's like a lot to deal with in the room. See, these are like a bunch of hunter Metroids here.
Yeah,
that
they at least drop a power bomb, so
yeah.
It's nice for me.
You can just replenish that.
Yeah, I just need you to be away a little bit, Metroid Prime. Just stay
there. It's not being very nice to you.
Yeah, okay, so that's a 5-pull fight. It's okay. Each time when it spawns a new pool, it will spawn Metroids. Okay, and that's the time. Outside of Triclops not being a homie, the run was great.
Yeah. I think at this point now, the Metroid tries to do one last thing. It tries to take you with it.
Yeah, it tries to kill Samus.
Yes, of course.
However, what's gonna happen? It's gonna take its Vason suit power.
We lost it.
Yeah,
we lost
the Vason suit, but that results Metroid Prime to actually die, explode with it. And if you noticed at the end, with this next cutscene, the whole impact crater just explodes. Because we killed Metroid Prime as well.
Yeah.
And that's when Samus is just heading off from the planet and...
she saved the day again.
Yeah.
Clears the poison, the Phazon, the Metroid Prime.
Yep.
And she does the Chozo's job.
And you can find out more what's going to happen in Metroid Prime 2 Echoes. If you're interested to play that, that's on a Wii and GameCube right now. I'm Samura1man on Twitch and YouTube. I upload videos there every Wednesday and Sunday. I stream 5 to 6 times a week or so. Not just Metroid games, but other speedruns like Mario and Zelda games. Lately I've been doing Tears of the Kingdom. That's where you can invite me. Thank you, Ashvin, for commentating with me.
Thank you for inviting me. This was a lot of fun. I like the Metroid games, so it was really cool to do this.
Yeah. So I'm done. Thank you, Yasser, for having me and having this run. It's a fantastic game. Play it. If you have a Switch, please play it.
Thank you, Samura1man and Ashwin, and we will be back with you very shortly.